Here we are with tattoo practicing number 4. You can definitely tell by the sounds of the gun that I'm going way too deep in some of this. I don't know what was different about this practice today, but it definitely opened my eyes and let me know that I was way more bad than I thought I was. That's why it's important to practice before you buy these kits and guns and stuff off of eBay or what have you. I put real fancy letters on this that had kind of a 3D raised effect just to see what kind of skill would be needed to do something like that, and it was horrible. This is the other side of the skin. The picture that I had when I do my practices, how I say that one side is for line work and the other side is for a picture. Well, this is supposed to be a black and gray picture, but then I went back to the other side. I really bury that needle into that fake skin. Thank God it's fake skin. After this practice right here, I pretty much decided that I need to learn to draw some. So this may be the last tattoo practice video for a while. I have a lot of other stuff going on too, so there will be other videos, just probably not of me practicing until I get everything else caught up and lined out. Or at least practice on drawing. Or I got me a light box that I can put a picture on and trace it and then try to color it. Maybe I'll do some videos of me doing that. I am so glad that I didn't try to tattoo on real skin. Somebody would have either been in a lot of pain or I'd have made some ugly ass work. You hear how deep some of this is going, and this is with the rotary gun. Or the rotary pen, I should say. Ryder's butt. What about your butt? After a while, like the needles that I used, I had a 5-round shader, I think it was, and a 5-round liner, or a 7-round liner. When I did that there, it was actually the wrong one. I still gotta say that this gun works pretty good though. I noticed when I was doing the tracing and everything with it that maybe the tips aren't all that great because it seemed like the ink would like clot up there at the end. And then it would make it to where it wouldn't suck up ink, so it was hard to refill. So I had to rinse out my needle quite a bit more often. If you can actually read what I'm writing there, that's what size needle's actually in the gun. The first one I wrote down is the other needle that I used, and then I got really discouraged when I got all done and seen how crappy it looked, so I didn't really bother going back and fixing it or anything. Piggy. At least the lines don't look too bad. Still sound like I'm grinding the heck out of it though. Definitely need a lot more practice. You can definitely tell that. Also, I got some new glasses ordered. Not saying that this tattoo sucks because I didn't have glasses on. Guess I got a pretty bad stigmatism is what they say. I actually need bifocals as my first set of glasses. Right there when I was shading it, I watched a lot of videos on shading this week. And I guess I was so focused on the shading that I forgot a lot of aspects of the lining. What's the matter? I need. This is the only shading part I did this practice. I did all that watching and studying of the other shading. You're the winner of the truck. And then I didn't do a lot. I'm going to have to watch. There's like a 30-day free course on YouTube. It's a foreign fella. And I think he has classes that after the fact you got to pay for more, but I'm kind of thinking it would help out a lot with my learning and tattooing. Small, slow circles. And I tried the lines. The circles are better. On a lot of the practice videos, what they say to do is go crisscross. Go one way and then go back over it another way. And then there's some that tell you that shady is best for little round circles. So I'm just trying out both the techniques that I seen this last week. It'll definitely be hard until I get an apprenticeship because I don't even know if I'm going to be halfway decent at doing art. I couldn't stand putting something on somebody's body that they don't like. See, my tattoos on me all look like crap when I was a kid. I did a lot of those trying to practice on myself, thinking that I was going to get good. But that was when I was really young and pretty much went into it with the same theory, thinking, oh, it ain't that hard. I'll be able to do this in no time at all. But the big difference is this time I researched a little bit before I started. And when I did the researching, I found that it needed to be practice. I found out about the guns, the needles. How fast you go, how slow you go, how deep you go, how fast you move your hand. All of this is stuff that plays into your skills. So no one tattoo artist could tell you how it's going to work for you because they may do it a different way. No tattoo artists are the same because you have some that have a firm hand, which means whenever the needles hit the skin, they call it give. The gun will actually move some artists' hands to where it don't go as deep or as hard. But some artists have a solid hand and a firm grip to where it don't move and it's just solid. And they call some of the artists, from what I've heard, call that a heavy hand. Those are the ones that are usually really painful. But in my personal opinion, the tattoos that the heavy hands had, the color's a lot more dominant in them. They didn't come out as bad as in the ink coming out. But there is a lot of blowouts in parts of a couple of them. And a lot on this, I was getting aggravated because the gun and the needles or the ink wouldn't go in like it was supposed to or load like it was supposed to. I was trying to debate if it was something clogging up the tip, then you go and then you wash it. I guess I just don't wash it enough. I need to practice dipping water every once in a while, I guess. From some of the videos I've watched since I've actually done this practice, I'm doing a voiceover from this practice like a week later. I'm doing this voiceover because I was just going to leave it as the sound of the gun, because it's kind of meditating. But in a way, it was making me bored. And I kept hearing how loud it got, and that tells you that you're going way too deep. Even though it's practice skin, when I got done with this, there was carvings on the table, especially from the other side. But my last view should add some too. It's just this time I used the saran wrap to go over the table, because the other stuff that I usually use for my tattoo practicing is it's actually a painter's tape, and it has paper that comes off of it. You put it around the edges of your floor when you paint the walls so you don't get it on the floor. And I am redoing the house, so I'm probably gonna have to use that stuff. So I was trying to come up with some other way. And the saran wrap is what the artists at the shops use to put on their trays and put over pretty much everything. So I was thinking, well, it'll clean up really easy if I just use this. Which for now on, I'm just going to use the paper because the wife isn't too happy I'm not too happy. I didn't think she'd be very happy about it, but I think she's just done with this table and she wants a different table anyway, so she didn't really get mad. She's like, oh, looks like we gotta get a new table. But that painter's paper, you can tattoo over the top of it and it didn't leave any marks on the table. Which it makes sense. This is just a thin plastic and you're coming through with the needle, and honestly it seems like it should have went through the paper too, but it didn't even mark up the paper. Maybe I was just doing it a lot harder this time. To be honest, I didn't understand why it was so much worse this time than it was last time. I mean, last time at least I had a decent looking image. Like this part here, I got off to the side. This was a 2-hour practice, by the way. I cut this video down a lot. I almost wasn't going to post this video because of how horrible it turned out. But you know, if I don't let y'all see what kind of work you're going to get from somebody that's never really done it before professionally or did any kind of apprenticeship or anything, if you don't see what kind of work people like that are going to do, then you're going to let somebody do this to you. And I figured that it would be good to help not hurt people or show them that, hey, you can start out from really, really sucking to doing pretty good if I actually do get good at this. I mean, after this one, I felt kind of defeated, and I was like, man, maybe I'm not cut out for this. It's still something I always wanted to do, but you know that feeling when you think, get all encouraged in something and inspired, and then you go through and you're doing it, and then it comes out horrible, like many of my weight loss journeys. But practice makes perfect. I got in a hurry, and when I was seeing how it was turning out, I was getting aggravated too, so that didn't help anything. Maybe it's the fact that on the one side I went through the skin so hard and I grinded into the table and bent the needle all up. Please, people, if you're getting a tattoo, go to a professional artist. Somebody that knows what they're doing. This is not as easy as it looks. And also, by watching all the videos on YouTube, one of the things that renders me on there is I have watched some videos where people go really fast on the shading, and then some people go really slow on the shading. I'm talking about the speed of the gun. And the problem with going really fast is you're chewing it up and tearing it up most of the times. That's why I say no two tattoo artists are the same. Even if you have the same grip and same hold on the gun, you're going to go faster or slower than others. If you're going faster or slower than others, or if you have the same speed and the same grip, guess what? You go deeper than others or not as deep. You run with a faster gun or slower gun. There's so many variables in this. That's why when I got back into kind of wanting to try it out, and my wife mentioned that, hey, you got them guns that you bought a long time ago. I mean, I bought those guns off of eBay and I never even messed with them. I bought them to redo the one I did on my leg when I was a lot younger, my Johnny Chimpo, and I just never really did it. I got them and I was like, all right, when I get those, I'll practice on my leg and I'll fix my tattoo and maybe I'll try it out. And then a couple years, 2-3 years went by, and then we're going to get a tattoo. I got Ryder's tattoo. When we were getting the tattoo from them, my wife said, there's somebody that might be able to do apprenticeship, because she remembered I bought them guns a long time ago, and it's something I've always kind of wanted to do, but I suck at art. And when she mentioned that, I was like, honey, that's something I'm never going to do, is be a tattoo artist. I'm just not that good. And the more she did it, she took a picture. She put it on my arm. The stencil. I've gotten plenty of tattoos, but you know, with it fresh on my mind that one time I wanted a tattoo, and my wife thinks I should try to get an apprenticeship to do something I really want to do, since, I mean, I am a stay-at-home dad and I have a little bit extra time. I got to really thinking about it, and I started watching some videos, and I was like, oh man, I really enjoy this. It fascinated me. I was like, I really do like the idea of tattooing. The hum of the motors, and then just watching it. It's one of them pleasantly pleasing videos to a lot of people. I just sat there and watched videos of people tattooing for hours and hours. I was, you know, before this practice, I was watching it like that's all I'd watch. I wouldn't even watch TV. You know, when I got some free time, when I wasn't taking care of the kids or kick back watching TV, I'd put on my headphones and I'd watch YouTube videos of other people tattooing, and it just, people make it look so easy, and it's not. That's why the apprenticeship is so important, and hopefully you get somebody that's a good artist. I'm just slightly practicing now. I'll do it whenever I don't really have other stuff to do, and I got a long time before I'm actually able to do apprenticeship first off, and mainly because my youngest one does the half-a-day pre-K, so I have to go get him a half a day, and I can't just go stay at the tattoo shop all day. I wish I could. That'd be awesome. What's the problem?
I'm finished and Ryder keeps yelling at me for no reason.
You didn't do a very good job putting them up then.
Why? How did I not?
But when I got that wild hair up my butt and decided I wanted to start practice tattooing again.
Well, since it takes you about an hour to do a half load for me, and you're already done, and you had 3 loads of your own.
Or a practice skin that came with it.
Yeah, you didn't do a very good job putting your laundry up.
Well, why not? I'll just go ahead and practice on this one. And I noticed that I wasn't doing all that great, but I didn't really know how to do it. And I noticed that the guns didn't really seem to do all that great, so I started watching videos, and I found that the guns that I had were just super sucky. You can't just buy a $50, $100 kit off of eBay or Amazon and do amazing work, I don't think. I mean, for one thing, I got a set of guns, which you would think that the set of guns means that one's a shader and one's a liner. But both of them had the shading springs on them, for one. All of them were out of whack. And then when I found that you could tune your gun, I watched several hours of just people tuning their guns, and found that, you know, you can bend the springs, you can move them around, you can which increases the depth and speed of your gun. And I didn't know that you would control it by that. I thought you just did it with the power supply, because you turn up your volts and it goes faster. But the way that I found that the guns were kind of junky was, one did all right line work, even though it was set up for shader, of course. But the other one couldn't shade or line. And I was just like, well, what the hell is wrong with this? It would actually catch on to the fake skin and, you know, get hung up. And it's just like, there's something seriously wrong with this gun. So I started watching the videos, and I seen them tuning, and they were talking about, I watched one video where a guy actually took them cheap tattoo guns off of there and, you know, spent another $20, $30 and bought the parts to make the gun worthwhile, worth using, you know. Like, you can get the kits of the spring upgrades that you change out, and that have the armature bar, which makes the needle go up and down. Different weights of the armature bars. I didn't know that the armature bars being a different weight would make it go faster or slower. That is crazy. But yeah, this practice sucked. I'm sorry you guys had to see this. But thanks for watching. I'll get better. It'll be a while before I put any more tattoo stuff on. But I appreciate the confidence. Thank you. You definitely see how horrible it came out. This side don't look as bad as the other side. Look at the hands. My gosh. Look at the letters I was saying were supposed to be all fancy and crap. It was horrible, man. Later. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video and want to follow my process, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Hey man, while you're at it, check out my other YouTube channels. The Stay Home Dad, The Back End Handyman, The Dorcher Family, and The Average Stoner. Just a little bit of what I do from day to day as a stay-home dad.